Hello, my name is Kim and welcome to a timeless reading where we are going to find out what it is that you can look forward to and or expect in the next 14 days. Now, because this is a timeless reading, the next 14 days will be from whenever you happen to be watching this video or listening to one of the group's messages. Now, before we continue, please do remember that not everything which is said in a reading is set in stone. I am reading the current energy, and energy is malleable and it is fluid. Therefore, it can change, shift, and transform in accordance with our current actions, decisions, and even way of thinking. Which is why it is always said, or I often like to remind you guys, that it is you who shapes your own destiny. Because what you do or don't do today or how you think can definitely shift the energy and alter the course of things. Okay, but with that being said, let us now take a closer look at the options. So there are 4 different groups to choose from. Starting off for group 1 is Reimagine. Group 2 is Levitate. Group 3 is Create. Group 4 is Reaching. Please take a moment to meditate on the options, and whichever illustration you are drawn to the most, then that will be the group and a reading meant for you to hear at this moment. And if it happens to be the case that you are not drawn to any one of these groups, then I do advise you to not force yourself to pick one of the groups. Instead, consider coming back to this video at a later time if you ever feel called to do so, okay? But if you have already selected a group, then please head on over to either the pinned comment in the comment section down below or the description box, where the timestamps that will allow for you to skip ahead to your selected group can be found. And if you are ready, then let us get started. Let's go. Hello, if you were drawn to group 1, Reimagine, bienvenidos to your reading. So I'm not quite sure whether it is the word reimagine that made me think of the Beatles, because my brain immediately started playing the song Imagine by John Lennon. So that could be the case, but who knows? The Beatles, John Lennon, or the song Imagine by John Lennon could be of significance. But apart from this, the word worship also came to mind, and I do intuitively sense that in the next 14 days, things will be settling down. I'm being reminded of the expression, the calm after the storm. So a lot of you could currently be, or maybe soon you will be, coming out of a storm, maybe a chaotic energy, a tumultuous period, or a time of unease or worry perhaps. There is this overall feeling or vibe of getting back on track or possibly resuming a usual schedule, things feeling normal again or getting back to a normal routine. So if things have been pretty chaotic or your schedule or normal routines have been disturbed throughout the next 14 days, things will be getting back to normal. Okay, but now let us move on to the cards. Let me start with the tarot. Okay. And we have the King of Wands with fearless, risk taker, and free spirit. So the King of Wands is associated with the element of fire. So fire signs, that will be Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. So you could be a fire, sun, moon, or rising sign, or someone who is a fire, sun, moon, or rising sign, or has dominant fire placements in their natal chart, maybe playing a significant role in your life for the next 14 days. But that doesn't have to be the case for the messages to apply to you. That is, of course, if they are resonating with you. Just remember, this is more so representing the energy that I'm currently picking up on. Ooh, wow, okay, interesting. And we have the Jack of Diamonds with number 14, the Writer. And I often associate the Jack of diamonds with either the Page or the Knight of Pentacles. And I am tempted to interpret this one as the Knight of Pentacles because we already have a Knight, and in both cards we have someone riding a horse. But intuitively, I feel called to interpret this as the Page of Pentacles. So I'm just going to go with that. And this number 14 is really standing out to me. So the number 14 could be of significance. If it happens to be the 14th of the month, sometime in the next 14 days, then that specific day could be of significance. But also, because this is a reading about the next 14 days, it feels like these next 14 days could be pretty significant. I'm thinking of bookends. So the next 14 days feel like a window of time. Like something could literally be ending or come full circle or be completed by the 14th day. Or something major, something could be happening within these 14 days. It feels to me like a very pivotal or transformative time. I keep thinking of the word monumental. Like the next 14 days, you could be dedicating it to something, or it could be dedicated to something, maybe to an energy or to you experiencing a very specific energy. So I wonder if some of you are taking a course or like a seminar, or you're going on a retreat that only lasts 14 days. Oh, and it's interesting that the word worship came to mind. So maybe some of you are worshiping, or you are praying for the next 14 days. The word fasting came to mind. If that resonates or applies, then that could definitely be a confirmation or the case for some of you. But it does feel like something is lasting exactly or around 14 days. But we also have needy with clingy, the number 73, with there is something you feel you need, but try and decipher if it is actually a need or just a want. On the other hand, someone may be in need of you. A clinging energy may come forward. Interesting. So the number 73 is standing out to me because if I reduce this number by adding 7 and 3, I get 10. And 10 is the number of completion, of endings. And I did speak about something possibly ending by the 14th day or coming to some kind of completion. And the vibe I keep picking up on is that of you're experiencing something in the next 14 days, or you're allowing yourself to experience something. And so you come out of these 14 days feeling different, either feeling refreshed, renewed, or with a different mindset, with a different perspective. Or after the 14th day, there's some kind of shift, because I keep seeing in my mind's eye, like the closing of something, maybe the ending of a chapter and the commencement of a new chapter. It's sort of like stepping through a doorway. I even get this feeling of leaving something behind. So you could be stepping into a new energy after the 14th day. Maybe a new cycle for some, because the number 10 can speak of cycles, the ending and the beginning of a cycle. And then with the number 14, I am being reminded of the Temperance card in traditional tarot, because the Temperance card is the 14th major arcana. And this card can speak about harmony, balance, peace. So I feel like in the next 14 days, you could be going through some kind of process. Again, I keep thinking of the word experience. With needy, you could be allowing yourself to feel certain emotions that maybe have been lingering or have been just on the surface, ready to be felt and to be experienced. And you allowing for these emotions to flow is what is allowing for you to leave something behind, in a way cleanse and purify, so that you can come out of this feeling a little different, feeling maybe a lot more at peace or at ease or renewed possibly. Because with the Knight of Wands, having two riders literally in your spread, it does make me think of someone who is like full of energy, someone who is ready to go and face the world or have an adventure, live an adventurous spirit. So I will say I'm a little confused. I'm not really sure if in the next 14 days, this is how you yourself might be feeling, like quite adventurous, ready to take on the world, maybe ready to go on an adventure. You could be craving and wanting stimulation, excitement, especially with this needy card. Or if this is the energy you will be experiencing after these next 14 days. Because during these next 14 days, you could be doing what is needed to step into this adventurous and free-spirited energy. So if there's something that you need to process, if there's things that you need to attend to, that you need to address, that's what you could be doing in the next 14 days in preparation to free up space, maybe free up even time, free up your schedule, so that then you can feel okay, feel at ease, and at peace with stepping into this adventurous and free-spirited energy. So a couple examples are coming to mind. One of them is you want to go on a trip. You literally want to travel. You want to go on a road trip. You want to take time off, for example. But right now, there's a lot of responsibilities that you need to attend to. Maybe you have certain deadlines, things that you need to turn in. And so before you go on a trip, you need to attend to these so that when you go on your adventure, you won't have anything pending. You won't have anything worrying you in the back of your mind. Or this could even be something like making sure that you have attended to all your responsibilities so that you won't end up needing to take work with you on this trip, right? Because this trip is meant for you to just have fun, to relax, and to not think about responsibilities, not think about work, not think about anything else. So that could be the case for some of you. For others of you, this could be a more like spiritual, emotional thing where you are releasing baggage or you are processing something emotionally in the next 14 days so that after this time period, you will experience some kind of peace. I'm even getting like liberation, because now I'm seeing like a butterfly coming out of its chrysalis. Yeah, because with the Jack of Diamonds, as I mentioned, I am interpreting as the Page of Pentacles. This is making me think of like preparation. This is making me think of getting things in order, attending to responsibilities, focusing on the basics, on the foundations. Like, so here with the Page of Pentacles, we are being responsible. We are doing what needs to be done or what needs to get done. And then after this, we enter into or step into the Knight of Wands energy, where now we can, go out and be, free-spirited and enjoy whatever it is that we find much enjoyment in. Because this Jack of Hearts here makes me think of like doing the things that you're not very used to or that you're not very fond of, that are more like responsibilities, perhaps obligations. And the Knight of Wands is representing the things that you love to do, like your day-to-day things, the things that you are quite familiar with, that excite you, that bring you comfort and that bring you joy. So there could be a little bit of both, with that Temperance energy here, which can sometimes speak about balance. Then in the next 14 days, you could be experiencing that division of like, there will be a period, maybe like for 7 days, you will be occupied with or preoccupied with responsibilities, with obligations. And for the other 7 days, you will have time to relax, to get back to your normal schedule and your normal routines and enjoy leisurely time perhaps, or spend time with loved ones, spend time with family or with friends, or time with yourself even. Some of you could go camping, or you could spend time in nature at some point in the next 14 days. And with needy, this is making me think of attending to your basic needs. Again, there's this division. We literally even have two hands here. Like for one part of the next 14 days, you could be attending to the needs of someone or something else. Again, it's making me think of obligations and responsibilities. And then for the other half, maybe, of the next 14 days, you will be dedicating it to attending to your basic needs. giving yourself what it is that you need. And there's something here about not feeling guilty when doing so. When you're focusing on yourself, on meeting your needs, feeling okay with it, because there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like that's something that some of you need to be reassured about, but I also feel like this is how you yourself will be feeling. Like, it's okay for me now to take care of me. Like, it's okay. It's okay for me to now enjoy my me time, or it's okay for me to enjoy my life. And with the Knight of Wands, there is this energy of someone feeling like it's time to start like living life to the fullest, perhaps, or it's time to make more time for things that they enjoy and brings them pleasure and excites them. It's time to enjoy life a little bit more, or to the fullest. So that could be the shift I was talking about, right? So it could be within the next 14 days that you will be experiencing some kind of shift. Like, maybe for some, it will be something along the lines of, it's not all about work, and it's not all about being responsible or meeting responsibilities or expectations. It's also about enjoying life, right? And doing things for pleasure, and just doing things for fun, and having a good time. You know, it doesn't have to be one extreme or the other. It could be a little bit of both. Some of you could be finding or craving, needing that maybe work-life balance, or just that overall sense of balance in your life. Because I'm getting a little bit of like playfulness as well in this spread. And for others of you, this could be a shift that you will be experiencing after these next 14 days. Like, maybe these next 14 days, you're pondering about life. You're really reconsidering your priorities, your values, your expectations about life, perhaps, or what it means to be alive or to be living a full life. And then after you have introspected and self-reflected on all of this, you could come out of these next 14 days with a new approach, with new priorities, a new mindset, a new outlook on life that will then result in you having a new approach to life. But needy is making me think of some of you possibly feeling like there's a need for change, like there's a need for new outlook, there's a need for new inspiration, there's a need for newness in your life, or maybe for stability. For some, that could be the case as well, because I'm seeing, again, a balance of, yes, making space for excitement and play and fun, but also for like what is the practical. Being okay with the mundane, being okay with routine, being okay with stability, or creating stability, making room for that. So it will very much depend on like what is needed at the moment or in your life. But if you feel like you have this beautiful balance already, then maybe this is something that you are just reflecting on how you can maintain this balance, on how you can continue having this kind of approach if it's serving you, if you like it. So some of you could just be taking the time to like assess and evaluate. Consider if adjustments need to be made in like a routine, maybe in a lifestyle, and how you spend your time as well. Because I don't know why the Knight of Wands is making me think of someone who is craving or wanting to spend time with their loved ones, have more quality time with loved ones, with friends, with family, perhaps. Maybe even furry animals, animal companions, or with animals. Some of you could have a really strong connection to animals, love animals. I keep hearing in my mind, I want to spend more time with loved ones. I want to see my loved ones. So that could be how some of you will be feeling throughout the next 14 days, or at some point in the next 14 days. And a lot of you could actually be taking the time to contemplate on what it is that you need versus what it is that you want, right? And that could be how you will be coming to terms with what is a priority at this moment. Because we do have 2 horses in your spread, horses could be of significance. Maybe some of you were born in the year of the horse, or someone who was born in the year of the horse could be playing a significant role in your life in the next 14 days. What just came to mind out of the blue is you could be welcoming a new life. So someone could be giving birth in the next 14 days. Yeah, because needy, it's making me think of like someone who needs attention, someone who needs to be looked after and taken care of. And this could be a newborn, right? It could also be that in the next 14 days, someone will be receiving a lot of attention. or someone is needing a lot of attention. Maybe it's you. Maybe you are craving attention. Maybe you are craving companionship. Or maybe it is you who wants to give attention to others. Again, because I'm being reminded of how some of you could be wanting to spend quality time with loved ones. Like maybe reach out to loved ones, let them know that you miss them, let them know how much they matter to you. Yeah, express your feelings towards them. Because this illustration in the needy card is making me think of reaching out. So you could be reaching out to some people in the next 14 days, or some people or someone could be reaching out to you because they missed you, because they want to let you know how much they love you, how much they think of you, or how much they care for you, something along those lines. We do have the message of receiving good news in the Rider card. So in sometime in the next 14 days, you will be hearing good news. I keep seeing in my mind's eye a child. So you could be hearing good news in regards to a child or someone who is quite young, or you could be experiencing a lot of happiness, joy due to a child. So, and what is coming through as an example is maybe you're seeing your child, if you are parents, or your niece, your nephew, your younger siblings perform or present something, and that in itself is bringing you a lot of joy. Or a child, someone who is quite young, could just be bringing you a lot of joy. Just seeing them having fun, being themselves, seeing them enjoying life could just bring you a lot of happiness, or could remind you of the beauty of life, or how, this is the expression that came to mind, how life can be so fleeting if we don't really take the time to appreciate the little things and appreciate those who are with us, and take our time to just smell the flowers, smell the roses from time to time. Okay, but now I'm going to move on to the next segment of this reading, where I'm going to work with homemade divination dice. And this part of the reading may get pretty loud or noisy. So if you have headphones or earphones on, please consider lowering down the volume or removing your headphones or earphones just for this part of the reading. So I will begin in 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I'm only going to consider the dice that fell on the board with an illustration facing up. And so we have the money sign for love, interesting. And we also have the fast forward symbol and the beehive for money. And I just heard a ringing in my left ear, so that could be of significance, like experiencing a ringing in the ear. And this has nothing to do with tinnitus, by the way. That could be your way of identifying when you are receiving a download, or when you are channeling, or when you are connecting with an entity, a being of light, or possibly even with the energy or the higher self of a loved one or of another. But with the fast forward symbol, this is making me think of a break for some reason. So this might sound weird, but you could be taking a break from work, and this could feel like you're taking a break from making money or from financially profiting. But with the beehive here, I keep wanting to say honey hive, this does indicate abundance. So, I wonder if some of you have a passive income, because what is coming through is, even if you feel like you're not making money, you're still making money. Or if there was a break, for example, or if there is a period in which you're not seeing income, for example, or you're not profiting as expected or as needed, when you do start making money, the amount of money you will start making will make up for all that time in which maybe you weren't seeing as much income. Because the expression that is coming to mind is fast forwarding to the time in which we are making money, in which we are feeling abundant, or in which we are abundant. This is also making me think of something being seasonal, right? Because bees take time to create their honey. And so in the next 14 days, or sometime in the next 14 days, something could be ready, something could be ripe to start profiting from it. You know, like it could be the time or the season to harvest honey. Yeah, and I did speak about, you know, completing something. So maybe in the next 14 days, you're working on getting something ready. And by the 14th day, or maybe within these next 14 days, it will finally be ready to distribute, ready to sell, ready to start profiting from it. And you will profit from it. It will do well. The word sales just came to mind. So there will be good sales, or business will be doing well. And because I did speak about resuming your old schedule, if you do need to step away or step out of work for whatever reason, when you go back to work, things will be just as you left it, or things will still be faring well. So for those of you who need the reassurance, you will still have work. There will still be a job. You will still have your position or a position at work. Or for those of you who did take a break from work, you quit a job, in the next 14 days, maybe more towards the end of the next 14 days, you will be getting a job. You will get back to work, because there's this feeling of getting back to work or getting back to working, and you making the money, like you making the money that you used to make, or you making money fairly quickly. You getting back on track is also what is coming through, or you feeling like you never really fell off track because things seem so seamless, or because things are faring so well. Maybe business is booming, or you have a good salary, something along those lines. So in terms to money, you're being let know not to worry, because things are going to turn out well. No matter what may be happening right now, whether you have a job, whether like things have slowed down, whether you had to take a break, when you resume, because I do see you resuming, getting back to work or getting back to making money, you will be making money. You will be financially profiting. Some of you could even be receiving money, maybe from the government, maybe from a program. People could be gifting you money, people could be donating, but I do see you receiving money, like as a gift, as a donation, but also via you profiting as compensation. And then interesting, because we have the money symbol that fell on love. And this makes me think of you are working on something that you love. You're making money through something that you love doing. That you're passionate about, or that you invested your heart and soul into. Was like a love project, like a passion project. This also made me think of a love for money, which reminded me of Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob SquarePants. I thought of him saying money, 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 money. Yeah, but you know, with the beehive and the money symbol, this is also making me think of an abundance mindset, like feeling abundant, feeling wealthy. And remember, one can feel abundant regardless of whether they are financially wealthy or not. Because one can feel wealthy and rich if they feel fulfilled in life, if they feel like they have everything that they need, like if they feel like they have beautiful, harmonious relationships, they have loving relationships, they have love in their life. So this is making me think of like feeling wealthy because you have so much love, maybe love to offer, love within yourself, or you have so much love in your life. You have loving people around you. You have people that you love, that you deeply, genuinely care about. And that in itself makes you feel full and whole and abundant. And I feel like this way of looking at abundance, defining it, is what is attracting wealth into your life. And again, this could be through you experiencing even more love, if you feel like love is a form of wealth and abundance. But it could also be through you acquiring, financial wealth, because there's something here about never being without. You're in an okay place, in a good space. You have everything that you need, and you have everything that you want. Yeah, again, some of you could be looking into that. Like, what is the difference between having that which you need versus having that which you want? Do I have both? Do I have more of one than the other? Do I actually need both of them? Am I okay with only having one? Like, these are questions that you might be asking. Or you just might be looking at your life, assessing it, and realizing, I have everything that I need. And in terms to what I want, maybe there's not much that I want, because what I need is pretty much what I want, or it's enough, it's more than enough, right? So it will very much depend. I'm not saying like one is right and the other is wrong, or that there's a right thing here. It just will very much depend on you, right? But I feel like a lot of you are coming to the conclusions that you're doing well, or that your situation is improving, or that you're in a pretty good space, or you're entering into a pretty good space or time of your life. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out an extra oracle card to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance. And by the way, beehives could be of significance. Honey could be important too. They could be like important symbols or signs, confirmations. And we have confidence or despondency with Capricorn and emotions, and the key phrase, step onto the forest path, with the message, if you are able to embrace confidence, stand tall with a sense of inner strength as you step into the unknown. The opposite feeling is one of ongoing gloom and low motivation that stems from a self-critical gaze. Cultivate your trust in yourself as you explore new paths. Yeah, so this makes me think of like endings and beginnings. I feel like a lot of you are reaching some kind of culmination, maybe in the next 14 days, and you're kind of preparing for a new beginning. You're entering into a new phase, a new chapter of your lives. And some of you could already be picking up on that, like something is awaiting. Like, I'm about to step into the unknown. And if that is the case, you're being let know that this is not a bad thing. You know, it might feel foreboding for some, but it's only because there's a lot of mystery, there's a lot of unknowns, but that doesn't mean that whatever you're stepping into is something bad. It just means that it's something new, something that maybe is unfamiliar. Because this is a new chapter. You're about to step on a new path. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you have recently experienced something very transformative, or something that kind of guided you or inspired you to introspect, to self-reflect, to reevaluate. And this is what is or has created some kind of shift. I even want to say some of you are turning your life in a whole new direction. Like you've chosen a different path, because a lot of you have chosen to feel better, to live a healthier life perhaps, or to step into your power perhaps. Have this abundant mindset. Be abundant. And I feel called to reassure some of you that if you're thinking that this is the end, you're being let know that it isn't. This is just the beginning. You are beginning something new. So your life can do a complete 180, or it can experience a full upgrade. So yeah, stand tall with a sense of inner strength as this next chapter of your life unfolds. And allow yourself to lead with grace and confidence, because you are the maker, you are the creator. And you have the capacity, you have it in you to create so much beauty and wonder. Okay, but the zodiac sign Capricorn could be of significance, or maybe Capricorn season could be of importance as well. Again, some of you could definitely be camping or spending time in nature, walking amongst the trees. You could also find yourself feeling or being a lot more introspective at nighttime, maybe reminiscing about the past, or you could also feel in this inclination or this pull to be outside during the night, like feel the night breeze or stargaze, look at the moon. Let's see, anything else I want to point out? You could be craving physical touch in the next 14 days. There could be a time in the next 14 days where you might not be so receptive to physical touch or physical proximity, but then I feel you kind of craving it or needing or wanting it, seeking it from loved ones or people who reassure you. Yes. But these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal reading, and all the information to that can be found in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team, your spirit guides, for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye-bye. Hello, if you were drawn to group 2, Levitate, bienvenidos to your reading. So the singers, songwriters, performers Dua Lipa and Sabrina Carpenter came to mind. I'm sure Dua Lipa came to mind because of the song Levitate. But immediately when these two singers came to mind, it made me think of the different generations like millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alphas, etc. And it also made me think of pop music, pop culture. So some of you could be really into pop music, pop culture, or you could know a lot of pop references. Also, if you do have a favorite singer / musician, artist, you could be hearing some good news about them sometime throughout the next 14 days. Maybe you'll hear that they are going to release a new album or a single, because now I thought of Jennie from Blackpink. Or you could hear or find out that they will be performing somewhere near you. What just came to mind was the expression sold out. So maybe something of theirs will be selling out, and that will be good news, because that will be indicating that they're doing well, that people are loving their work, something along those lines. But if you yourself happen to be a musician or an artist, a performer, and you are planning to perform somewhere in the next 14 days, like you have a gig, for example, or if you are auditioning for something, then this could be indicating that the turn up will be better than expected, or just as anticipated. If you were expecting for a lot of people to come and see you perform, or people will be very satisfied with the performance, you will be doing great at the audition. If you are releasing something to the public, the masses, then the reception will be great. The words warm and welcoming came to mind. So I sense that in the next 14 days, something will turn out better than you are anticipating or expecting, or it will be just as you had imagined, if you were imagining a really good, positive response or outcome. Oh, one thing more. I do sense that a lot of you will have an important discussion sometime in the next 14 days. And this could be like a one-on-one discussion or conversation, but it could be also a discussion that you're having with the group, maybe like an in-class discussion if you are students. And this is being brought up because you are being given a heads up that for this discussion, reason will be super important. Like being reasonable or allowing yourself to seep in the information or what is being discussed and really breaking it down mentally, logically, so that then you can get the most out of this discussion, and so that then you can also have a really good comeback or allow yourself time to formulate your own opinions and possibly even questions, like really good questions to expand upon what is being discussed and also expand your own knowledge. Because I'm sensing you having an opportunity to learn more or to expand upon something, get clear on certain matters, or get a better grasp on a topic or a better idea of what is happening, going on, something along those lines, okay? But now let us move on to the cards. I'll start with this one. Oh. Yeah, so if there is some kind of discussion or group conversation in the next 14 days, I feel like you're being encouraged to engage or to participate. Or if you do feel inclined to say something, you're being nudged or encouraged to say what it is that you want to say, to contribute. Because maybe what it is that you want to say or express is something that will help to improve or better or deepen the discussion, the conversation perhaps. It might give way for something new to be considered or to be discussed. Okay, but we have the 7 of Hearts with number 21, the storks. Interesting. The 7 of Hearts reminds me of the 7 of Cups in traditional tarot. But let's see what the tarot has to say. It will be funny if the 7 of Cups comes out. Ooh, no, it's the Page of Coins in the upright with young but grounded, solid beginning, and strong foundation. Interesting. I like this energy. The Page of Coins is associated with earth signs. So that will be Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. So you could be an earth, sun, moon, or rising sign, or you could have water placements as well. But you don't have to have these placements or be any one of these signs for the messages to apply to you. That is, of course, if they are resonating with you. Because this is more so representing the current energy. Or the energy that I'm picking up on currently. Okay, so 2 cards fell out. Perfect. And we have number 37 with you'll get used to it, and the expressions no worries and acceptance, as well as the message don't rush or force the process. If it feels uncomfortable, allow that feeling of comfort to stay hidden. For a moment, this may just be something you need to get used to fully understand why it's occurring to begin with. Okay. And we also have number 33 with taste and indulge, and the message, use your tongue to taste all that it can taste. Your taste buds may be extra heightened right now. Try new spices or flavors that entice you. There may also be an energy around you that knows how to indulge. So the taste card, for whatever reason, made me think of a very youthful energy. All of a sudden, different images of scenes of coming of age movies or dramas came to mind. And with the page being the youngest of the court cards, in the next 14 days, you could be giving off a very youthful vibe or energy. You yourself could be feeling quite energetic or youthful, whatever that might mean to you in specific. With the Page of Coins, I sense someone feeling refreshed or feeling renewed. It's quite interesting, but we do have the number 33 here. So the number 33 or the number 3 or the angel number 333 could be of significance. You might have already been seeing this number or angel number quite often. And if so, this could be serving as some kind of confirmation. But if not, it's possible that in the next 14 days, you might start seeing this number pop up time and time again. And actually, we have a lot of 3s in your spread. We have 33, we have 3 and 37. And then if we add 2 and 1 with 21, we get 3. And the number 3 is often associated with creativity, creation, expansion. The third major arcana of the deck is the Empress, which is a card that denotes fertility and beauty, growth, self-empowerment, and creativity, creation as well. So in the next 14 days, or at some point in the next 14 days, you yourself could be feeling quite inspired to create, or you might be feeling very creative. And maybe this creativity ties back to that youthful energy. A lot of you could be exploring new hobbies. You could be diving into current or new interest. With this illustration here in the Page of Coins, your creativity may not be limited to like the creative arts and crafts, but it may branch out into how you handle your money, maybe how you utilize your resources. Because with thrift shop here, of course, it makes me think of someone who is quite thrifty, quite creative in the way that they spend or budget. I'm seeing something like getting the most from what you have, or getting creative with what it is that you currently have. Some of you could be upcycling. Yeah, so one thing that is coming through, especially with the 7 of Hearts, is that in the next 14 days, you're not limiting yourself. There's this feeling of not taking no for an answer. So just as an example, something that you really need in order to start or proceed with something is not available to you in the next 14 days. Instead of quitting whatever it is that you're doing or postponing it until a later time, you're deciding to take matters into your own hands and look around in your environment, see what is in your possession that could, in a way, replace or compensate maybe for what it is that you are currently missing or what it is that you need. Right? So this is just a silly example, but it reminds me of when I started my YouTube channel. I didn't have fancy equipment like a vlogging or professional video camera or mic. All I had was my phone, which has a camera included in it. And instead of waiting for me to save up to purchase a really fancy camera, I decided to just work with what I had, which was my phone, and start recording from my phone. And it worked well for the time being. I actually recorded several videos with my phone. And then later, years afterwards, I upgraded to a actual video camera. But yeah, there's something here about making the best with what you have, or taking full advantage of what it is that you do currently have. The expression milking it just came to mind. So yeah, you're getting pretty creative. You're getting pretty ingenuitive perhaps in the next 14 days or at some point in the next 14 days. And this is working in your favor. And I see this whole process of trying to figure things out or see what can replace what, how you can work with what it is that you have being quite exciting and quite fun. But you'll get used to it. There is a heads up here about getting gloomy or upset for experiencing some inconvenience or for some things not exactly panning out how you envisioned them or you expected them to. And you're being given a heads up about this because remember what was mentioned previously, right? You can still make do with what it is that you have, or things can still turn out quite well, even if there are inconveniences or even if things don't exactly play out how you were expecting them to. Because with the Seven of Hearts here, as I mentioned, it does make me think of the Seven of Cups in traditional tarot. And the Seven of Cups often indicates a multitude of choices, options. And it also makes me think of the imagination, of being imaginative, of a daydreamer. So the advice for the next 14 days is to utilize your creativity, your imagination, or your ingenuity. Allow yourself to see opportunities. Don't get so caught up in what isn't working out, because that can blind you to the possibilities. And so the next 14 days are really encouraging you to maybe, in a way, think outside of the box, branch out a little bit, explore. With taste, it makes me think of like literally tasting something new, adventuring with new flavors. And I do sense that the reason why this is being encouraged for the next 14 days is because in you allowing yourself to do this, it's actually going to help you maybe get out of some kind of funk or help you feel a little bit more confident is how it's coming through, regain your confidence or reignite some kind of spark to regain your mojo. And this might only resonate with some because this will be for those of you who recently have been feeling a little uninspired, have been lacking motivation perhaps, or have been experiencing some kind of rut. And for those of you who are creatives, creators, or you are self-employed business owners, this in itself could help with you bringing something new to your business, to your creations, to the way that you create, perhaps. And I feel like this can apply even outside of, again, of the creative arts, because I'm seeing someone who's working a corporate job and, them trying something new or working with what they have or working through the inconveniences, maybe even working with them to reap the best out of the situation will help improve things at work or will help with them finding a better way, maybe a better system, or help them with coming up with a new idea or to bring something new to the table, because I did mention a discussion at the beginning. So maybe for some, the reason why you will end up discussing with others is because there is some problem that you need to discuss, and so you hold a meeting in order to talk about this problem and find solutions for it. And so it's in you actually wanting to find a solution, not seeing this problem as a dead end or not calling quits right then and there, but instead seeing this as a hurdle that you can jump over. That is what is going to give way to some brilliant idea or some kind of innovation, or maybe even for some will help bring the whole team together, or will help with there being better work efficiency, or it will help to fuel everybody with some kind of new good energy to, find a solution, or it makes me think of people coming together to find a solution for a common problem, that sort of thing. So yeah, I feel like something good will definitely come out of this if you allow yourself to be a team player, if you allow yourself to, I don't know if this is the best or the correct expression, but like roll with the punches, or really allow yourself an opportunity to see what it is that you're being offered at this moment, what it is that you're working with, because you're definitely being given tools. You are being given some resources that you can definitely work with and make something great out of. It's now making me think of the expression making gold out of hay. Yeah, in the next 14 days, you could definitely be making gold out of hay. But it's up to you. It's up to you how you choose to approach the situation. If you choose to approach it with playfulness, curiosity, and with a little bit of excitement. I'm getting a bit of like a challenging energy here, but not with a negative connotation, but more like, yeah, I'm up for the challenge. This is quite exciting. Let's do this. And with no worries, if you are worried about something, or you end up worrying about something in the next 14 days, you are being reassured that, okay, your worries are valid, but how things are going and how things are playing out behind the scenes, in actuality, there is nothing to worry about, because things will turn out well, or whatever it is that you're worrying about, it will get solved or it will get resolved. And acceptance, again, it's making me think of the expression rolling with the punches. I don't know why, but I just had the image of someone on a bicycle rolling down a hill, and they could either resist and try to pull back as momentum is gaining, or they can just go with it and enjoy the ride. So I feel like the advice for the next 14 days is to just go with it, enjoy the ride, because you're safe, you're protected. You'll make it down this hill safely. So just allow yourself to have a little bit of fun and enjoy the momentum in the next 14 days. Because I feel like once you allow yourself to open up to your imagination, allow those creative juices to start flowing, you will experience some form of momentum. More ideas will come, or you will find yourself with a lot more energy to maybe face more challenges, or to get creative in other areas or aspects of your life, or find solutions to other problems that you have been dealing with. And it's like things will come easier to you, like answers to the problems will come easier to you, or you will find yourself in some kind of flow. You will find yourself creating, for example, or thinking of new ways of doing things, better ways, more efficient ways, because we do have the Page of Coins here, which speaks of practicality and efficiency. And we do have this energy of solid beginning. So a lot of you could be entering into a new flow, energy, or vibe where your approach to things could be changing a bit. You could be feeling a little bit more excited, or again, I'm thinking of the word youthful. It's like, when I think of someone who is young and full of vitality, I think of someone who sees the world, instead of being intimidated by it, they're ready to take on the world by storm. They have this mindset of the world is my oyster. So that could be the way that you're feeling at some point in the next 14 days. I was going to say 40 days. Yeah, so this could be an energy that will be carrying over to the days or the weeks coming after these next 14 days. Yeah, but I definitely do see you being re-inspired, and especially if you have been feeling a little bit like lethargic or unmotivated. It's like whatever was boring you perhaps, or whatever was confusing you or stressing you out, in the next 14 days, you're going to feel differently about it, because you're going to have a different mindset in regards to it, a different perspective or a different approach that will allow for you to have more fun with this, or feel a little bit more relaxed in it, or feel excited about it. Yeah, so get creative. Get creative or get creating in the next 14 days. And remember, creativity does not only apply to the creative arts, to hobbies, DIY projects, arts and crafts. You could get creative with just about anything, with the way that you clean, with the way that you manage your finances, with the way that you store your clothes away. I feel like you guys are finding new, more efficient ways to do things. And it's giving you either better results or it's making the whole process for you, the whole doing the thing, a lot easier, a lot more fun, a lot more enjoyable. Definitely a lot easier, because I feel this sense of relief, or I feel like a burden has been taken off of my shoulders. It's sort of like in the next 14 days, you're going to be or feel less stressed out about one or more things, because you have found, or you're applying a new approach, a new system, new method, new technique, or a new way. The taste card is making me think of giving a twist to something, a new twist. Maybe even spicing things up a little bit, giving something a new flavor, adding a new ingredient, a new spice perhaps, and that making a whole lot of difference. Yeah, so this could even be literally pertaining to like a recipe. Maybe you're adding a new ingredient, a new spice maybe, and that's changing the entire dish. It's making it a lot more flavorful. But taste also makes me think of craving. So you could be craving certain foods sometime in the next 14 days. It could literally be like sweets, chocolates. I'm literally thinking of a lollipop. So some of you could be finding yourself with a lollipop in your mouth, or wanting to reach out for sweets. I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but something that you can lick, something that you can be sucking or suckling on. I just thought of a Jolly Rancher, a Tootsie Roll, or a Tootsie Pop maybe. Also, I just thought of gum. I could be chewing a bit of gum. And for some, you know, having this stimulation, like having something to chew on, something in your mouth, could help you think, or maybe you do that because it helps you think, or it helps you focus. That's what is coming through. But I'm not encouraging this, you know, because if sugary treats are not good for you, then this message definitely does not apply to you, okay? Be mindful with your sweet consumption. But if not, it could also be like spice. Sometimes I myself get like cravings for either chocolate or spicy things, especially spicy chips. Yeah, but let's see. With the bicycle here, if you own a bicycle, or if there are bicycles available in your neighborhood that you can like borrow or rent, you could be bicycling quite a bit throughout the next 14 days, or maybe just one afternoon, and that's going to be very therapeutic, very healing. It might allow for you to tap into that playful, jovial energy or vibe. Because I'm seeing something about you getting on a bike, reminding you of the good old days, or reminding you of how free you felt just being on a bike, or going at full speed. Because now I'm seeing in my mind's eye someone like riding a bicycle really fast, and the wind, you know, kind of pushing their hair back, or the wind against their face, and this person feeling really good about that. So yeah. But remember, only take that which resonates, because this also makes me think of like exercising, like cycling. So yeah, some of you could find that like cycling could be the best way to exercise, or could be your favorite way of exercising, or something about moving your feet. I'm also getting like jump roping, or maybe just moving your feet. That's now making me think of like circulation, blood circulation. So you could get your blood circulating and flowing it through some maybe soft exercise. It doesn't have to be something intense, or maybe that's what's being recommended to you. If you can, if you're able to like move your body a little bit in a way that will allow like blood flow, circulation, or maybe energy flow. Some of you could be visiting the dentist. This made me think of like a new dental or oral hygiene routine maybe. Like getting educated or getting advice on how to have better maybe oral hygiene, or just hygiene, some kind of hygiene, and that being very like informative or being very helpful. And I'm getting a bit of like ease, feeling at ease, or putting your mind at ease. Yeah, so maybe some information or advice that will be given to you in the next 14 days will put your mind at ease. Maybe it will reassure you of something, or it will confirm to you that you've been doing things quite well. Maybe that a routine of yours is like just good. You don't really have to change much because you're doing quite well. Yeah, but with no worries here. If you do have some kind of like checkup appointment, you're being let know that all will be well. There's not much to worry about. Acceptance is making me think of getting accepted, of an acceptance letter. because I did mention the Seven of Hearts reminding me of the Seven of Cups, which can speak about options. If you've been applying to places, or if you have applied somewhere, in the next 14 days, you will be hearing a reply. I do see you having options. Or it could either be that you have options, so you're hearing back from multiple places that maybe you got in, or that you're being considered for a second interview, or you are being considered, or maybe some of you are receiving acceptance letters by this point. But what else is coming through is you could be one of the candidates, right? So let's say you applied somewhere that a lot of people have also applied to. You will be notified that you're one of the few that got selected, or you're being considered. You're one of the candidates is how it's coming through. And with taste, this makes me think of like a probation period, like you getting a taste of a job position, of how things work at a company, how it feels like to work somewhere, or to work at something perhaps, or to be part of something maybe. And one thing that is coming through is if you've never worked in a team or worked with others, worked with colleagues, for example, I feel like in the next 14 days, you will be getting a taste of that. So you will have an opportunity to work with others. Maybe work with like professionals is how it's coming through, because now this image in the Page of Coins is making me think of someone working with designers, or someone working with people who like make clothes, or who work in publicity perhaps. Yeah, but that was very specific. You can either take that as an example or something literal if it does apply or make sense for your situation. Yeah, because now taste made me think of samples. So some of you could be sampling something, or you could be receiving a sample of something in the next 14 days. It just made me think of someone who like designed like a t-shirt, and they're receiving like the sample of their design in the next 14 days. Or maybe like someone who is going to publish a novel, and they're receiving like the first copy or a sample of the first copy of the published book. So that could be the case for some of you, but for others of you, it could just be that sometime in the next 14 days, you will be receiving free samples. So maybe you ordered something and it comes with a lot of like little free samples and gifts, and you will be sampling all these. Yeah, you could definitely be receiving something for free in the next 14 days. But now I want to work with the board and the homemade dies to get a little bit more info. Oh, sorry, and this part of the reading might get pretty loud and noisy, so if you're wearing headphones or earphones with the volume way up, please consider to either lower down the volume or remove your headphones as I roll out these dice, just to protect your eardrums. So I will start in 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, so I guess that's it. I will only be considering the dice that fall on the board in a section with an illustration facing up, and the rest I will be putting back into the little drawstring bag. So quite interesting that for you guys, only one dice fell on the board, and that is the telescope, and it fell right on love. So quite interesting, because I did speak about me seeing images of scenes, coming of age movies in my mind's eye, and I should have been more specific, because yes, I was seeing like scenes of coming of age movies, but also scenes of like rom-com dramas or series that also has that theme of coming of age, you know, which was reminding me of that youthful like energy, like young love sort of thing. So with the telescope here, this could be a heads up for those of you who are interested in romantic love, that love is on the horizon, or that maybe this in the next 14 days, you kind of sense, you have a feeling, an inkling that love is in the air, or that someone special is approaching, and maybe for some that could be why you're feeling reinvigorated, or you're feeling a little bit giddy or excited, because you do sense that something beautiful, something magical is in the air, like love is in the air. Or maybe that's just the vibe you'll be getting for the next 14 days. Like, oh, all is beautiful, all is well in the world. Like at some point in the next 14 days, things could seem a lot more vibrant. Music can sound the more beautiful to you. Roses and flowers could smell sweeter, something along those lines. But, you know, with the storks here do make me think of partnership and long-term commitment. It does make me think of marriage for some reason. So, yeah, what else is coming through is if you're currently seeing someone, dating someone, in the next 14 days, you could find yourself envisioning a future with this person. You could see how, yeah, maybe this is for the long term, maybe this is for the long run, or I can see myself starting the next chapter of my life with this person or settling down with them. Because, you know, the telescope makes me think of seeing something that is far away, right? So it makes me think of like seeing into the future or seeing the prospects, maybe the love prospects. Some of you could be getting like a prediction reading, like a tarot reading, focusing on romantic love. And that could give you an insight of what is coming, what is approaching, or like the kind of energy you're calling in terms to romantic love. And this doesn't have to just be romantic love. It could be like love in general. So partnerships, relationships. So those of you who are wanting to manifest friendship, or you are wanting deeper connection, regardless of whether it's romantic or platonic, you could very much be sensing that you soon will be meeting someone, or you could already be envisioning, imagining the next type of relationship that you will be entering into. But this does make me think of like opening up to the possibilities, like now seeing more clearly what is ahead, what lays ahead, and where you're heading, or where you're being drawn to, what you want to experience in terms to love, right? In terms to partnerships and relationships, but this could also be in terms to things that you love. So this also makes me think of you're getting a clue, an idea of maybe future projects, things that you in the near future might get really invested in, like become very passionate about, because the Seven of Cups again makes me think of several ideas. So you could already be thinking about like several future projects that you will end up loving, working on. But this is a really nice energy. It could also be that in the next 14 days, someone will be catching your eye. Maybe someone who is from afar. So this could be someone who maybe is at a physical distance from you. But this also makes me think of like when a stranger catches your eye, like when you're out and about and you know, you spot someone who you find attractive or charming and you kind of get a little curious about them. Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily mean that this will lead to something. I mean, it could, who knows? But this could just be a situation in which you're out and about and someone catches your eye, right? Or someone catches your fancy. For example, if you work, maybe someone at work will be catching your attention, but this is someone that you have yet to get acquainted with or interact with or be introduced to. And so for the meantime, for now, they're just someone that you see every now and then, or someone that you see from afar. And this could be the other way around too, right? Maybe it is you who's catching someone's attention. And, you know, for the meanwhile, just for these next 14 days, they're like observing you from afar, not in a creepy way. I know we have a telescope here, but it's not like that. It's more like they see you and they're like, ah, look, there they are. Seeing them just made my day. The following may be for a select few, which is someone who you were involved with or in a long-term relationship with, or who had feelings for you, may be in the next 14 days observing you from afar. They could be inquiring about you or checking up on you, maybe via your socials, to see how it is that you are doing. That is all. But let me now pull out an extra oracle card to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance. Ooh, So you have Sagittarius with material, the key term adventure, the key phrase horses gallop through endless fields, and the message go on a journey with your mind, body, or spirit. New and different experiences can remind you of your own vitality, as well as expose you to fresh perspectives, move out of your comfort zone and into uncharted territory. Yeah, so at one point in the reading, I mentioned like thinking outside of the box, and I was going to say that in the next 14 days, you could be encouraged to get out of your comfort zone, but for whatever reason, I refrained from saying that, and instead I said, thinking outside of the box. But definitely in the next 14 days, you could feel this inclination to maybe get out of your comfort zone, or something will kind of like nudge you to get out of your comfort zone, meaning do things a bit differently, try a different approach, find new approaches, find new ways of doing things that motivate you and excite you and get you all pumped up and ready to meet maybe challenges head on or create. Yeah, and definitely in the next 14 days, there will be opportunities to have fresh perspectives or to be exposed to new and fresh perspectives. If you are discussing with others, as mentioned, make the best out of these discussions because, you could definitely end up bouncing ideas off of others, and that could give you new insight, that could allow for you to see things from a new and different perspective, that may allow for breakthroughs or for inspiration to strike, possibly. And there will be new and different experiences, or at least there will be opportunities to have new and different experiences, because it will very much depend. I feel like the next 40 days, it's like the opportunities are there, but then it's up to you whether you want to take them or not, or what you end up making out of them. But yeah, I feel like the advice for the next 14 days is to have fun. Allow your adventurous spirit to come out and to play, because you do have an adventurous spirit, or in the next 14 days it will be there. It would just be more so about if you allow it for it to come out and play and do its thing. Horses and birds could be of significance. You could have been born in the year of the horse. There's something about ravens or crows, feathers. So these could be important symbols, signs, or animals for the next 14 days. We also have like yellow flowers here, which make me think of daisies and dandelions. So those could also be important symbols. The sun here, sun symbolism, sun imagery could be of importance or significance as well. Some of you could be celebrating a solar return in the next 14 days. If so, happy solar return. But you could also be celebrating somebody else's solar return. You could be invited to a celebration, to a party, to an event. And this could be the opportunity, one of the opportunities we have been speaking about. So if you feel inclined to go, have fun, enjoy yourselves. The horse here is making me think of speed. So there's something about speed, like someone running wild and free, someone enjoying the air, brushing their hair back, or the air against their face. Maybe you could be going horseback riding or riding a bicycle or running, jogging, or it could be pretty windy at some point in the next 14 days, but I'm also getting like sunny or warm weather with the sun. I know I talked about speed, but just be careful with speeding, when driving. Be mindful, be careful, please. Stay at the speed limit, you guys. Safety first, always. The zodiac sign Sagittarius could be of significance, or Sagittarius season could be of importance if it happens to be Sagittarius season whenever you happen to be watching this video, or if the next 14 days fall during Sagittarius season, then the season entirely could be of significance. This could be the energy that you might be experiencing throughout the whole Sagittarius season, for example. The black horse made me think of a Patronus. If you are familiar with Harry Potter, you will know what I'm talking about, which makes me think of protection, guardian angels, or power spirit animals. So a black horse or a black animal could be a spirit guide of yours or a symbol of protection. If things start picking up, or if you start experiencing a new pace, and at first you feel a little bit all over the place, this is you adjusting, right? So you will reach a point in which this pace will become familiar, or you will get the hang of it, because that's what I get, where you'll get used to it. Like you'll get used to this new pace. So just allow yourself that adjustment period, allow yourself to get used to this new pace, and you will. Okay? So remember, just if the beginning of it all, you feel a little bit like, I keep thinking of the word disheveled, but discombobulated is what is coming to mind. You're not doing anything wrong. You're simply adjusting. Okay, so it's normal. It's okay. Give yourself a little bit of grace. Give yourself a little bit of time, and then things will settle down, meaning you will get adjusted. The word Mustang just came to mind, I guess, because of the horse here. So a Mustang could be of significance. You could be hearing a lot of engines, like people starting their engines, the whole vroom vroom thing in the next 14 days. I hear a lot of that where I'm located. I personally don't like that sound, but to each their own. But yeah, that's just something that is coming through. Oh, with adventure, you could definitely be trying something new. You could be adventuring or feeling quite adventurous and trying new things, not only in terms of methods and systems and techniques and approaches, but also like new foods, new cuisines, new snacks, new music, new genres, new places, new restaurants, parks, new environments, new people, maybe social circles, perhaps. Yeah, exploring. There's an energy of exploration. And this offering you a lot of information, valuable information, maybe about what it is that you're into, what it is that you like, and what it is that you don't like. And maybe also about what is available out there. The fact that there are more options, perhaps. But yeah, these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal reading. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching until the very end, and a huge thank you to all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for as well as your higher self for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much. And I'm wishing you a wonderful next 14 days, and on to the next moment. Bye bye. Hello, if you were drawn to group 3, bienvenidos to your reading. So in the next 14 days or sometime in the next 14 days, you could be reconsidering something. Maybe an offer, maybe an idea, maybe reaching out to another or getting reacquainted with someone. Yeah, I do get this feeling that some of you have said no to something, and in the next 14 days, you're reconsidering. Also, some of you could be dedicating time to gathering information, getting well informed, or preparing. There's something here about making sure that you meet all requirements. So maybe some of you are undergoing, or you will be undergoing, some kind of application process. You might be submitting some paperwork, some documents, and therefore looking into what is required, what it is that you need to submit, turn in, etc. Okay, but now I'm going to move on to the cards. So I will start with El Tarot. What just came to mind was the expression gathering your thoughts. So some of you could be doing just that. Oh, and we have the 3 of coins in the upright with collaboration, focus, efforts, and common goals. You could be gathering with others to talk about something, to make plans or plan something out. Okay. And we also have the 10 of Hearts with number 7, the bouquet. I associate the 10 of Hearts with the 10 of Cups in traditional tarot, which is a card that speaks about bliss, happiness, emotional fulfillment, a happy home life. I didn't notice that this card fell out in the reversal. So I'm just going to keep that in mind because I haven't been reading these in the reversal. But let me pull out the other clarifier before I proceed. There could be a family reunion in the next 14 days, or you could be gathering with family. or old schoolmates, classmates, or old friends, old colleagues. And we have going through changes with cycles and new beginnings, the number 75. With change can be difficult, but it is necessary right now. It may be nothing but struggles, leaving you feeling too many emotions at once. But there will be a reward. Trust the process. All the changes you openly accept will make each step less strenuous. Just go with the flow. So seeing that we have a 10 here with the 10 of hearts. Okay, now I understand why this card fell out in the reversal. So if you have recently experienced a loss, or you have been experiencing or processing a lot of sadness, because I'm getting a bit of like sadness, melancholy, grief possibly, it seems like in the next 14 days, you're slowly and gradually coming out of this blue period. The sadness is lifting or dissipating. The going through changes card is making me think of healing. The word recovery or recovering just came to mind. So some of you could be recovering from something, maybe from a surgery, or again, it could be from a loss. And in the next 14 days, you might still be recovering as well as feeling a lot better. There's something here, especially with the bouquet, of feeling better, of feeling lighter in energy, in mood. The expression that is coming to mind is getting your mojo back, which is an expression that I used for group 2, I believe. So maybe you were also drawn to group 2. And, cycles is making me think of fluctuations. Our expectation is to always be happy, right? To always be joyful and excited. But we're human and we experience an array of emotions. So there will be periods in which, yes, we might be feeling elated and happy and joyful and content, but there will also be periods in which maybe we're experiencing a little bit of melancholy or sadness, or we might not feel as energetic. Maybe this is about your energy levels, right? So if you have been feeling pretty down or under the weather, then I feel like in the next 14 days, you're going to be feeling a lot more energized. Your mood is going to be chirpier, and you yourself might feel more uplifted, right? And it is because you're coming out of maybe a low period or a low in your life, or maybe a lull, more like. Because with the 3 of coins, I do see you focusing on projects. I do see you focusing on work, maybe studies. I do see you pretty preoccupied with something. It's like your mind will have something to think about, something to occupy itself with. You will have something to occupy yourself with, spend your time on, and it will be something productive. It will be something conducive to your well-being. This might be the very thing that can also help with you getting out of a lull or getting out of a funk. It might be the thing that might help with you finding healing, or possibly even finding closure, or distract you in a healthy way. Because when we have experienced a loss, it is important to grieve, to process the sadness that comes through, maybe even the anger. Yet if we just focus on the loss and the sadness, instead of simply feeling through all of that, we could end up drowning in it. And so it helps to focus on other things, right? Allow yourself to feel, but also gradually, slowly start focusing on other things so that you can move through the different stages of grief and allow yourself to come out of that organically and naturally, reminding yourself that there are other things also happening in your life. I feel like that's important, or I feel like that's what is happening for some of you in the next 14 days. Because, the 3 of coins is making me think of like healthy distraction, or like redirecting your focus onto other things, other areas of your life, maybe projects, and finding happiness, finding joy, or reconnecting with those emotions and feelings through you focusing on this other. And you could definitely be collaborating and working with other people. You could be working with friends. Some of you could be working with family, but it doesn't have to be the case. You could just be working with like-minded people, with colleagues. I also see something like brainstorming with others. Maybe you are working on a solo project, but from time to time, you're reaching out to others to brainstorm with them, like get their advice, get their opinion. on things that you're working on. What else is coming through is if you have been working on a project, in the next 14 days, this project of yours will be advancing to the next stage. It will be leveling up. There will be some kind of upgrade. So you might be making improvements, or if you're working with a team, your team might be making improvements that will really upgrade this project or move it to its next stage. I am sensing contentment and happiness, and I feel it in my chest, in my heart space. So I do see you experiencing joy, either throughout the next 14 days or at some point in the next 14 days. I see you focusing and working on something that excites you, that you're eager to learn more about or to get working on. The word proud is coming to mind, so I also see a lot of you feeling proud about whatever it is that you're focusing on, creating, working on, developing. Some of you could be software engineers. That's just something that came to mind out of the blue. But others of you could definitely be students. And maybe what you're feeling pretty excited about is the material that you're currently learning. Because overall, I sense you guys feeling good. Like feeling good about what you're doing, feeling good about what you're focusing on, or just feeling good in general. And what just came to mind is the message, it's getting better, it's getting better. So you could be feeling a lot better in the next 14 days. That is, again, if you have been feeling under the weather or if you have been feeling down and gloomy. But it could also be that a situation is getting better, maybe something that you're working on, it's getting better. What just came to mind is the weather. So for some of you, it could even be the weather that is getting better. But we do have the number 7 here. So this number could be of importance. Maybe you were born on the 7th of a month, or you could have been born in the month of July, or someone who was born on this day or on this month could be playing a significant role. Also, you could be a life path number 7, and if so, this may be serving as confirmation for some of you, but if not, don't worry about it, because the number 7 immediately made me think of the Chariot card in traditional tarot, which is a card that speaks about advancements and forward movement and momentum, speed. It's also a card that denotes overcoming obstacles and being assertive. So one thing I do want to reassure you is that it will get better and that you are doing well. You are doing a really good job and you will get through this. I feel like that's important for some of you to know. You will get through this and it will get better and you're doing a really good job. There will be advancements because I did mention the Chariot. There will be advancements. It could be at school, in a project, at work, in your career. It could even be in your personal life. And although the next 14 days could be dedicated to planning or preparing, very soon you will be commencing something or launching something. It could even be releasing something to the world or to an industry. You will see this through. Again, that's a reassuring message for some of you. There is an end to this, or this will come to an end, to a beautiful conclusion or completion. So another reassuring message for some of you. Yeah, so keep on going. I feel like you're being encouraged to keep on going. This doesn't mean overdo it, right? Overextend yourself, because I do feel a lot of you are being advised to be mindful of your health and to take a break when you do need it. Remember to slow down when it's necessary. Sometimes we do need to hit the brakes, right? It's not always about go, go, go and speed. So moderation. And if you need to go back and redo something, then allow yourself that. Take your time. I feel a lot of you are being advised to take your time. Timing is everything is what is coming through, and it's up to you, right? Sometimes we have to take a moment to consider what is a priority, what is important. Is it quality or is it quantity? Do you care more about doing and finishing things quickly, or is it more important that you deliver something of higher quality, not mattering how much time it takes you? I'm not saying that there's a right or there's a wrong here. This is more so about you and what you value and what will benefit you or your situation the most. So that will be up to you to decide, but maybe that's something that you're like contemplating on and considering in the next 14 days, because I do see a lot of you focusing on either your career, personal projects, on a goal, perhaps, or maybe a collaboration, as well as your studies. I do see you going over something with another or with a group of people, like revising, reviewing, making edits. And yeah, you're being let know that making edits, revising, reviewing, it's not a waste of time. Like, it's part of the process. It's, again, I feel like for you guys, this reading is meant to provide you with a lot of reassurance. I'm not sure if the messages I have been delivering have been reassuring to you, but I do feel like Spirit or the cards want to reassure you of something. So yeah, if you've been worrying about something, it's like whatever it is that you're worrying about, you're being reassured about it. Like, all is well, or you're doing well, or things will turn out well, etc. It could even be something like you're right on time, you're right on schedule. Don't rush, don't force it. No need to rush, no pressure. With the 10 of Cups, some of you could be reformulating is what came to mind. Like, maybe looking at your schedule, looking at your routines and making adjustments or readjusting. Because this Cycles card is making me think of someone who has decided that it's time to make some changes, or like now's the time to look at what needs to change, what needs to go, what needs to stay, and so forth. Because this might not apply for every single one of you. This could just be an example. So what came to mind is someone thinking to themselves, so I haven't exercised in a while. Maybe it's time for me to start exercising. Or it's been a while since I've hit the gym. Maybe it's time for me to hit the gym again. Or, I've been going to the gym for X amount of time and I'm not really seeing results, or it's not really working for me. Maybe it's time to consider another option. So some of you could be looking into what needs to change, or what it is that you should resume or maybe move on from to improve the quality of your life, or improve your health, maybe, or up your game is how it's coming through. And you may also be applying this kind of approach to like work or your studies, how you study, your study habits, your work habits, perhaps. If you own a business, you could also be looking into what your business needs, if your business needs anything, and so forth. Some of you could be feeling like it's time for an upgrade. Some of you could be thinking about like rebranding a business if you have a business, or revamping perhaps. But now I'm going to move on to the next segment of this reading, where I'm going to work with homemade divination dice. And so for this part of the reading, it might get pretty loud and noisy. So if you're wearing headphones or earphones with the volume way up, please do consider lowering down the volume or removing your headphones or earphones as I work with the dice, because it might get pretty loud. But I will begin in 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm only going to consider the dice that fell on the board in a section with an illustration facing up. So for work, we have the scroll. For the money section, we have the infinity symbol. And for love, we have the compass as well as the beehive. So I believe it was group 1 that also got the beehive, but they got it for a different section. I think it was for money. But let's see. Yeah, in the next 14 days, a lot of you could be focusing on working to achieving some kind of goal. Maybe to getting certified for something, completing a course, completing a project. Some of you could definitely be presenting maybe at some point in the next 14 days, or you're preparing for a presentation. You could also be going through some kind of application process for work. So you could be doing all of that, filling the paperwork, meeting all the requirements throughout the next 14 days. And I just heard the expression done deal. So you could be closing a deal at some point in the next 14 days, or the whole, application process could be completed sometime in the next 14 days. I do see there being a successful ending or completion. So if you need to submit something, you will do so successfully. Or if you do need to go through some kind of process, I'm now thinking of like an evaluation or maybe even an interview. You will get all of this done. You will be able to go through all of this successfully. Okay. And for money, we have the infinity symbol. So this makes me think of like infinite potential. It makes me think of timelines as well. It's the next 14 days could feel like a gateway. I wonder if there is some kind of like gateway or portal occurring in the next 14 days for some of you guys. It's making me think of like the Lionsgate portal, or like maybe it's November 11/11, because I see this being a time in which you can manifest, in which you can attract, in which you can shift timelines, in which you can, if you feel called to do so, or if you feel it's necessary, in your perspective, perhaps improve your situation or call in more. Yeah, so a lot of you could be focusing on creating, opening doors of opportunities for yourself, or just getting in that mindset, getting in that zone of, this is what I want. These are the goals I want to achieve. This is what I want to see more of. This is what I want to create. And, moving towards that with that chariot energy. Because with the 10 of Hearts, I do see you going towards that which you want, like not settling for less when you can accomplish or reach or have that which you want. So you could be in this go-getter mindset, or you could just be more open and receptive to the possibilities instead of limiting yourself or settling. Some of you could be profiting a lot from a passive income. But I do think that the next 14 days, it's a perfect time or period to make improvements, to like take opportunities or create opportunities, to expand, to branch out, or to like plan for that, prepare for that. If you have been manifesting financial opportunities or money, you may be seeing results in the next 14 days. And it could be through opportunities, right? Maybe opportunities to collaborate, to attend classes and courses that can educate on how to make more money easily, or to connect with people who might help you out or see your potential or support you in your endeavors, possibly even support you financially. But with the compass and the beehive makes me think of community. And so with the compass, this makes me think that you are definitely being guided to either your community, you're finding your community, and you're finding your tribe, you're finding your people, you're coming in contact with like-minded people. So it could be that in the next 14 days, you will be coming in contact with, possibly even be working with, studying with, collaborating with people who are members of your soul family, soul tribe, or people who you can really resonate with, that you work amiably with, people who share a similar goal, a similar vision, people who get you, understand you. Because, the beehive bees, they do make me think of like team players working as a team on a common goal. And that's what the 3 of Coins is all about. So I guess for the next 14 days, the advice is the suggestion is to be open to working with others, or the possibility of working with others, collaborating, maybe discussing with others, because I feel like this will be very helpful to you. It might also help with you feeling supported, knowing that you are supported, and it might help you stay accountable as how it's coming through, or stay focused. Yeah, because with these 2 falling in love, I feel like there is a possibility of you working with people who care about what you care about, like care about what it is that you're doing, care about what it is that you're working on, care about your project if you're working on a project, your career if you have a career going, or working towards a career. And so if they need to remind you to stay focused, they will remind you, because they know how much you care about what it is that you're doing, or how important this is to you, or how important it is. And so they're not going to let you slack off, because they know that in the future you might regret it, right? And this could be a mutual thing where you're supporting one another if you are working with others. And this is helping all of you, stay accountable and stay on track, and remind yourselves of the why it is that you're doing this, why it is that this matters, and so forth. Yeah, but a lot of you are definitely being guided to You're a community, your tribe, your people. It could even be people who have the same work ethic as you, the same level of integrity, the same drive. And that could be a lot of fun, right? To align with people who can meet you at your level. Maybe even who can challenge you in a healthy way, in a healthy and productive way. And you will be working on things that you love. You will be working with people on things that you love, things that you care about, things that bring you joy. But now I'm going to pull out an extra oracle card to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance. Some of you could be working on a house, working on acquiring a house, acquiring a property, or like, I forgot what the word is, but this scroll here is making me think of a deed or like the ownership of something. So that could be in the works, or that's something that's going to be processed in the next 14 days. But we have immediacy with Aries and wisdom, and the key phrase, fireworks burn bright and fade away, with the message, the present is all you have, so live in it. By focusing on the past or the future, you may be missing the point. Staying present can dissolve fear and worry. Try to do one small thing to center yourself each day. Yeah, so interesting, because I was talking about time at some point, and that there's no pressure, that in the next 14 days you could be taking the time to really contemplate on what is truly important. Is it speed? Is it rushing things? Or being always on the go, or is it quality, quality time and taking your time with things to create something that you're proud of, perhaps. Yeah, so if you feel this sense of immediacy, take some time to really ask yourself why. Is it really because you need to be quick about something? You need to rush? Or is it more so coming from, as an example, anxious feelings or anxious thinking? So that's just something to consider, because I feel like for the next 14 days, you're being advised to not rush, or you're being reassured that there's no pressure, that you can take your time. And actually, you're being suggested to take your time, to allow yourself to be in the present, to take it one step at a time. And if there's so much that you feel like you need to get done, or that you should already be doing, or that you should already have accomplished in this stage of your life, Spirit is saying, be careful with that, because that can overwhelm you and that can blind you as well. Sometimes it's good to focus on the future, but other times it's best to just focus in the here and now, because focusing on the future can end up overwhelming us and just creating anxious feelings that don't really serve us and don't really help us. It just ends up confusing us even more. So focusing on the future doesn't really help. Then consider focusing on the here and now. Like what it is that you can do today. Like, what are the things that you need to get done today? And that's how you can take it one step at a time, one day at a time. And if it helps to have a plan, if it helps to have just a goal in mind to help direct your focus, then consider doing that. If you're formulating a plan, you don't have to be super detailed with it, because the plan is more so to help aid you in getting a better idea as to what you're working towards to. That's all. So just have in mind what it is that you want to accomplish, what it is that you want to experience, perhaps, and let that be the driving force. Let that be the target, the end goal, and let the rest just flow. Then start thinking about what it is that you can do today to get one step closer to that end goal. And I feel like this immediacy card is also reassuring you that you're right on time, and that anything that you want to accomplish, it's not too late. Like, you can still accomplish it. I feel like a lot of you need to be reassured of that. Like, it's not too late, not even close of it being too late. You're right on schedule. You're right on time. This is still manageable. It's still feasible. So instead of like regretting not getting stuff done earlier, not starting earlier, just get started today, right? Just take that one step forward today, whatever that step may be. But let's see. Clocks could be of significance. I'm thinking of time. Like, every time you feel inclined to look at the time or check the time, you could be seeing the same numbers on the clock. So it could be something like seeing repeated numbers, angel numbers, or just the same number sequence. Something along those lines. And that could just be like some kind of confirmation, maybe a reassurance to you that you're right on schedule, you're right on track, that you're doing well, like you're divinely aligned. So not to worry, not to put unnecessary pressure on yourself to move faster or to hurry or to rush in any way, because you're doing good, you're doing well. But with the fireworks, you could be celebrating something in the next 14 days, maybe a solar return or someone's solar return, or there could be some kind of event. It could be New Year's for some of you, or some kind of holiday celebration in the community, something along those lines. Some of you could be seeing fireworks. Fireworks could be an important sign or confirmation for some of you, as well as bouquets or flowers. You could be receiving flowers, a bouquet. Oh, I wonder if some of you are graduating. Ooh, and that could be how a cycle is ending, because you're ending like a chapter of your life, perhaps. You're moving on to the next thing. Yeah, because this scroll here is making me think of a diploma, getting certified for something. You receiving recognition or proof that you worked towards something, that you have accomplished something, that you have finished or completed something. So that could be the case for some of you. Yeah, and with the infinity symbol, if you are graduating or you recently graduated, this is indicating like, you know, the world is your oyster. Whatever you do next is up to you. There's infinite possibility. So remember, something that you choose now doesn't have to be the thing that you stick to for the rest of your life. You can transition to something new and different at a different stage of your life. Yeah, and I did mention a portal or a gateway. So with immediacy, some of you could feel this immediacy to act or to do something, like an impulse, because you do feel this nudge to step into something new. Or you do feel like the energy right now, it's very malleable. Like you can step into any kind of timeline. You can create anything, make anything happen, declare, claim. So yeah, if you feel this inclination, kind of this intuitive nudge or this inspiration to claim something, to declare something into existence, to move in a certain direction, then allow yourself to do just that. Because that could just be you intuitively sensing that the time is right. Like now is the time to act. Now is the time to create and to manifest and to attract or to envision, visualize. Get the ball rolling, in other words. But this is if you feel inspired, right? This is not about forcing for anything. It's more so about when inspiration strikes, then allow yourself to just go with the flow, okay? But these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. And I am wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful next 14 days. And until the next moment, bye-bye. Hello, if you were drawn to group 4, reaching, bienvenidos to your reading. So different things came to mind when meditating on the energy of this group. For one, the expression reach for the sky, said by the character Woody from the Disney Pixar film Toy Story, came to mind. Also, I found myself thinking of K-pop music for whatever reason. Like just different scenes of K-pop music videos kept flashing in my mind. So K-pop could be of significance for some of you. And if there is a song or an album titled Wonderland by a K-pop group or artist, that song or album or that specific K-pop group or K-pop artist could be of significance, importance, or relevance for some of you or for the next 14 days. Yeah, that's just something that came through. And now I'm thinking that there must be a lot of K-pop songs titled Wonderland, but you know, only take that which resonates. What else? Oh, also, there is something about smell or scents, about the breath or inhaling, because my attention was brought to my nose, my nostrils, and the fact that I was inhaling air, breathing in oxygen. So I don't know what that could be about. Maybe some of you will be doing breathwork exercises in the next 14 days or just being more mindful of your breathing. Or some of you could be getting a checkup in regards to that. Something to do with the nose. It could have something to do with like nasal allergies, rhinitis, or the breath, oxygen levels, etc. But something else I'm thinking of is clairsalience, which is like a psychic sense that has to do with smell. So you may have clairsalience, and this is serving as confirmation if you needed it, or in the next 14 days, this psychic ability or sense may be awakening, or you could be experiencing clairsalience, in other words. But again, only take that which resonates, and just trying to make sense of why it is that my attention was brought to the nose and the breath and the inhale. Yeah, so it could be any of the things that I mentioned, or it could be something else entirely. So again, only take that which resonates and applies. Okay, but now I'm going to move on to the cards. And I'll start with tarot. Ooh, what just came to mind is the message, you are reaching a new goal, or you're reaching a goal. So we have the sun with success and optimism and openness. So interesting that I mentioned that you will be reaching a goal or reaching a new goal, and then the sun card comes up as confirmation. Yeah, so in the next 14 days, you will be experiencing some form or level of success. So if there is a goal you've been trying to reach or achieve, you will be reaching it or achieving it in the next 14 days. And then interesting, we have the Four of Swords in the upright with mental overload, sanctuary, and solitude. So this card can often indicate rest. So I'm seeing a bit of like a mixed energy here, where at some point in the next 14 days, you might find yourself being pretty active, feeling very energetic. You could find yourself completing a lot of tasks or feeling on task. And then at a different point in the next 14 days, you could find yourself slowing down or needing to slow down. Take it easy, take a breather, maybe take a break. Some of you may be resting and recovering from a burnout or a cold. Yet I do see you getting better and stronger with the sun having showed up in the upright. Or what else is coming through is in the next 14 days, you're finding a nice balance, right? Where you are feeling energized because you are getting a good amount of rest, a good amount of sleep, right? So maybe you're finding a nice balance in your routine, in your schedule that allows for you to attend to your basic needs in a healthy way, so that then you find yourself being ready to face the day. So with the sun and the Four of Swords, one thing for sure, in the next 14 days, your sleeping patterns are improving. They're becoming healthier, or you're getting enough sleep. You're getting better sleep. I see you resting. You could find yourself waking up earlier because you're going to bed and falling asleep earlier. Yeah, I feel like your sleeping schedules could be changing a bit. Ooh, okay, I need to censor this, or else I might get in trouble with YouTube. So we have number 70 with penetration and infiltration, as well as impose and access, with the message, there is a strong energy trying to enter into your energy space in some way. It's a strong force you may not expect. There may also be a need for you to feel it necessary to impose yourself in a situation and make yourself known. Interesting. This message, this last sentence more like really stood out to me. There may also be a need for you to feel it necessary to impose yourself in a situation and make yourself known, because the sun can speak about exposure, being seen. So in the next 14 days, you could feel this inclination, this impulse to maybe come out of your shell a little bit, especially because we have the Four of Swords here, to maybe take a leap of faith, to take action, to be in the spotlight in some way, or this could be the advice for the next 14 days to allow yourself to be seen. It could be that you are gaining some kind of exposure, positive exposure, because the Sun card did fell out in the upright, and because we do have this energy of like penetration and infiltration, you could definitely be in the limelight, in the spotlight for a while in the next 14 days. And so because of this, you could be exposed to a multitude of energies, right? It's making me think as an example of someone who is in the public eye or who is quite popular on social media. They have a lot of followers, they have a lot of views. And so because they are exposed to so many viewers, they get a little bit of everything, right? They get people who love them and love their content and love their work. And they also get people who are quite judgmental and critical and who have their own biases and that sort of thing. So in the next 14 days with the Four of Swords, I feel like you're being advised to be mindful of your energy, to take care of yourself. If you ever feel this need to kind of pull back a little bit or to protect your energy, to protect your mental well-being, please do so. So if that means that you need to log off from social media, for example, just as an example, then do just that. If you feel like you need to spend some time alone, be in solitude to recharge, then do so. If you feel like you need to set some boundaries, then do so as well. I feel like the advice here is to set boundaries. There's something here about, yes, allowing yourself to come out of your shell and be seen, but at the same time have some privacy. So I don't know why I keep thinking of someone who's in the public eye. This is just an example. I know it's not going to resonate with everybody, so take this as an example, which is someone who is in the public eye may want to share their talents, but to maintain some privacy, they would keep their private affairs to themselves and not share that on social media or with the public. So I feel like this is just reassurance for a lot of you that it's okay if you are quite reserved about certain things, if you don't overshare, or if you don't share certain things about you or your life or what you're doing, what you're working on. If you feel like that is needed to maintain some level of privacy or to maintain maybe like a work-life balance or maintain some sanity, keep your energy protected. Yeah, because not everybody needs to have access to you. But let me pull out the last clarifier. The Sun is also making me think of a performer, you know? A performer gives it their all when they are up on stage performing for an audience. But then after they perform, they do take some time to recover, to rest, to be in private, be with themselves, be with loved ones, and to be themselves, right? And what happens behind the scenes, what happens off stage is as equally, even more so important than what happens on stage. Because what happens off stage is what allows and helps the performer do what they do on stage. And so, you know, this could be applied to like finding that work-life balance, perhaps, not making it all about show and productivity, but also prioritizing the slowing down, the taking it easy, the times in which you're not as productive, in which you're feeling bored, because those aspects, those parts are as equally important. Boredom is not a bad thing. Boredom allows for rest. Boredom allows for recalibration, for reset. Think of boredom as like the blank canvas that is needed to create a beautiful painting. So I feel a lot of you are being reminded of that. Like, you don't always need to be putting up a show. You don't always need to be on the go, go, go. You don't always need to be happy and chirpy for the sake of others or just because it's normal and it's okay if there are days in which you feel less energetic, if there are days in which you want to retreat, if there are days in which you don't want to be smiling all the time. That's perfectly fine. So don't force it, okay? And because I did speak about performing and entertaining, some of you could be performers and entertainers. And so you could be performing or giving performances for a while throughout the next 14 days. And so because performing, or I assume performing does require for one to exert a lot of energy, after these performances, you might find yourself needing to rest, needing to recover. And so there could be this thing of where some days, yes, you're like vibrant and passionate and full of energy. And maybe these are the days in which you want to socialize and be with others and connect and be seen. And after this, there could be a time in which you're feeling this need to be in private, or you might find yourself being a little bit more quiet, more reserved. And it's because you're recovering, right? You exerted a lot of energy and now you're recovering. It's making me think of like a bit of an ambivert vibe here. They could like being in the spotlight. They might not mind that, but it could take a lot of energy from them. Or for some, it could be that although you are introverted, your profession, line of work, or interest does require for you to be in the spotlight, interact with a large group, or be in social settings. And so this could result in you often needing time for yourself to recharge. We also have the Queen of Hearts with number 23, the Ring. Interesting. So the ring speaks of, or it makes me think of commitment, of promises, engagement. So, okay. One thing that is coming through is there could be a proposal. It could be a business proposal, for example, a creative proposal, or you could literally be getting proposed, or you could be proposing to another. There could be an engagement as well. Some of you could be getting engaged, or maybe you do have an engagement that you need to attend to in the next 14 days, like something that is scheduled. Yeah, because I feel like some of you promise something and now you have to deliver, or now you feel this obligation, this responsibility to deliver in the next 14 days. So now it's making me think of a deadline. Maybe there's a deadline that you have to meet, or something is scheduled for the next 14 days and you have to be there, you have to do the thing. And maybe this is something that requires a lot of energy, or does require for you to like go out or meet people or be in a social setting or be seen. Or this is something that requires for you to connect with a lot of people. But the Queen of Hearts often does remind me of the Queen of Cups in traditional tarot. And the Queen of Cups is a water sign, so that would be Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. So you could be a water sun, moon, or rising sign, as well as a Leo, because the sun card is associated with the zodiac sign Leo. Or you could have these signs in your Venus, but you don't have to for the messages to apply to you. That is if they are resonating with you. But so far, what I'm seeing in your spread is very similar to what came through for another group, because I am seeing balance or need for balance. The ring is making me think of, attending to your duties and your responsibilities, your work, for example, but also attending to your basic needs, attending to yourself, making sure that you're well, that you're doing well, that you feel safe, that you are safe. I don't know why, but the sun card all of a sudden made me think of a bodyguard. Yeah, a lot of you are making sure that you're protected, that you're looking after yourself. Or there could be someone in your life who's kind of taking on that role of a protector. They're looking after you. They're making sure that you are well, that you're not overdoing it, that you're not overextending yourself. Because I feel like that's very important for you to be mindful of in the next 14 days. And maybe even just in general, to not overextend yourself. Because with the Queen of Cups, you guys are coming through as someone who possibly is quite sensitive to energy. And so if you are in a line of work that requires for you to connect with a lot of people, to be seen, then you could oftentimes find yourself feeling drained emotionally, mentally. That is, if you aren't taking care of your energy, taking care of your own emotional need, and also applying discernment, right? Because as mentioned, you could be very sensitive to energy. And so at times you could be experiencing energies, maybe even feelings, emotions that are not yours. Instead, these could be things, energies or feelings that you are picking up from your environment or from others. And so I feel like for you guys, it's very important to discern, to kind of check in with yourself. every day. Every time you are starting to feel a little bit off or drained, or the word funky came to mind, to see if you have picked up on something that isn't of you, and so that then you can release it. Some of you could benefit a lot from like energy cleansing, or just having some kind of routine, like an evening routine that allows for you to come back to center, that allows for you to relax. I feel like unwinding in the evenings or at some time of the day or night could be very beneficial for you guys. Unwinding, relaxing is super important for this group. And also boundaries, right? Remember what was mentioned previously. Not everyone needs to have access to you, and you don't have to make yourself accessible to everyone or be accessible at all hours of the day, right? Take some time. It's okay for you to take some time of the day, night, afternoon, of the 24 hours that are given to you every day for you. It's okay for you to do that. And I feel like some of you are being advised to, and remember, this is just an advice, it's a suggestion. If it doesn't really resonate or apply to you, or you don't see that it will help in any way, then don't take this advice. Just let it be. But I am seeing this advice to separate work from your personal life, or separate maybe your social life from your private life. Because if these two mix, then it can become very overwhelming, or it can become difficult for you to find that time or have that space for you, right? To recover, to regain your energy, to recharge. I feel like you guys do benefit from having like a sacred space, a safe zone, a place that you can come back to and feel safe in, a space in which no one is allowed unless you give them permission to come in. Privacy is super important for you guys. And there's something here about creating a persona, or maybe having this public image, but it just being an image, because who you really are, you kind of keep to yourself. And this is a way of you protecting yourself. This is a way of maintaining privacy. And I feel like if this is the case, if you're already doing this, you're being let know that this is fine, this is good. Especially if it is helping with you feeling safe and with you keeping your peace, because I guess that's what I've been trying to say all this time, is maintaining your peace is the priority, or it's super important. Or maybe you find this to be super important. And so you're really finding ways on how to do that. And maybe the ways you have found, that's what you're applying, that's what you're integrating and exercising in the next 14 days, because it seems like it will be needed. Because again, with the sun, I do feel like at some point in the next 14 days, you will be either connecting with a lot of people, or you will be in a way in the public eye. You will have some kind of exposure. And if it's not you personally, like your person, it could be like something that you're a part of, something that you're doing, maybe something that you're sharing. Yeah, because the Queen of Hearts does make me think of a creative. So some of you could be creatives, creators. And if you share your creations on like social media or on a social platform or with others, then in the next 14 days, it could be getting some hype, or it could be getting a bit of recognition. And so a lot of people could be flocking to your creations. A lot of people could be engaging with your content. They could be commenting. And so having this strong boundaries, or having these ways of protecting yourself, protecting your energy, protecting your mental well-being, protecting your peace, will be very beneficial, so that all this attention, especially if you're not used to all this attention, won't end up being overwhelming for you, or you will know how to handle it. You will know how to manage it. Because I feel like that's kind of the overall message here. Like in the next 14 days, it's about managing or knowing how to handle attention, being seen, being in the spotlight, maybe socializing or connecting with a lot of people. If it happens to be the 23rd of a month in the next 14 days, that day could be of significance, or around that time could be of importance. And just remember, everyone has different opinions, and not everyone's opinion might be of use to you, or might benefit you if you were to pay attention to them or consider them, right? So apply and utilize your discernment. some comments or commentary will not be worth your time, nor your attention, your focus, or your mental space. What you are advised to focus on instead is the constructive criticism as well as the praise, because you will be receiving a lot of praise. And I'm getting something about people leaving or making requests or suggestions or wanting to maybe push their ideas or their agendas onto you, and you're being advised to not feel pressured to fulfill their request or accept their suggestions. Because if, for example, let's say you are a creator and people keep asking for you to create something in specific or to create more of something, but you don't really feel inspired to do so, or it goes against your values or against what you want to create, don't feel forced to do what people are asking you to do. I feel like that's just the message and the advice. You staying true to you won't negatively affect you, right? It will just help to solidify or to kind of clarify your image and what you're all about and what you stand for and what you're willing to accept, as well as your boundaries, right? Your limits, maybe your non-negotiables. The sun often speaks of authenticity, so it's okay to stay authentic. It's okay if you say no to some people. It's okay if you decline. You know, some people might not be very happy about that, but you're not here to simply please a select few, right? Because sometimes when we aim to please a select few, we divert from our path and from what matters to us. So you can choose, right? You can choose and you can decide what you give priority to and what you make important, and who you give access to you, to your inner world, as well as who you allow to influence the way that you show up and the way that you create and the way that you do things. Okay, but now I'm going to move on to the next segment of the reading, where I'm going to work with homemade divination dice. And this part of the reading might get pretty loud and noisy, so if you're wearing headphones or earphones with the volume way up, I do recommend for you to lower down the volume or remove your headphones or earphones to protect your eardrums. But I will start in 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I will only consider the dice that fell on the board in a section with an illustration facing up, and it's interesting because the beehive has come out for 3 groups so far. But for work and play, we have the fireworks, and for tasks, we have the beehive. So this makes me think of like a work-life balance, you know, balancing play and work, fun and responsibilities. So I feel like you will get a kick out of prioritizing these 2 things in your life. And I feel like you having this balance will allow for you to maintain your energy, to feel well, to feel healthy, to be healthy. Because the fireworks is making me think of like a firecracker, like someone who is feeling energetic. The word spicy just came to mind, but someone who is upbeat or in a good mood or has the energy to just go about their day. So in the next 14 days, I do see you faring quite well, because you are not only prioritizing work or school, creative pursuits, for example, but you're also prioritizing your personal time, fun and play, rest as well. Also, I did mention not mixing like your personal life and your work life, or your social life and your private life, but play and work is making me think of like integrating play at work, like having fun at work, and also integrating work into play. So it's making me think of when you're trying to teach a child something new, but so that they won't get bored, you make it fun. You make the whole learning process fun for them. So in the next 14 days, you could be doing that. Maybe with your awareness, or without you really being aware of it, you could be integrating play into work or work into play. So as an example, let's say person A loves singing along to K-pop songs and they hate cleaning around the house or the apartment, but they do have to clean. And so what they would be doing is, in order to encourage themselves to clean or give them an incentive to get up and start doing housework or house chores, they will play K-pop music and allow themselves to have like a full sing-along session while they're cleaning, right? And so the whole cleaning process becomes a lot more enjoyable and fun, and maybe something even that they look forward to, because they know that cleaning equals them having time to sing along to their favorite K-pop songs, right? So that's something that I'm seeing, because the fireworks is making me think of having fun, and it's making me think of excitement. So it seems like you're bringing excitement into work, or something that you usually work on. It's becoming a lot more exciting for you because you're having fun with it. Or things that used to bore you or used to be burdensome, now they're a lot more exciting and fun because you found a new way to make it exciting for you, to make it fun and enjoyable. And I'm also seeing that something will work out for you. It will give you good results, or it will be successful. Again, as mentioned previously, you will be experiencing success or some level of success in the next 14 days. And for something might exceed your expectations, because I'm being reminded of a singer-artist, a K-pop artist actually, whose name is Kim Han-bin, also known as B.I. That's his stage name. He has had many hit songs, but one of his hit songs was a song that he wrote and produced while he was having fun with his friends. And the song is Love Scenario. If you're into K-pop, you might know this song because it went viral for a while. Yeah, and I don't know if he expected for it to be such a hit, because when he recorded the song, he wasn't really focused on it being so big. He was just having fun with his friends. And so that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Like, there could be something that will be very successful, and this might be a surprise to you, because when you were working on it, or when you were developing, creating it, you weren't really thinking about the results or the outcome or how well it would do. You were more so just having fun creating it. Maybe this could be something like, it was a silly idea. It was just something that you were doing just for kicks, and then it ends up being a big hit, or it ends up doing really well, or people end up loving it, or it gives you really good results, or something great comes out of it. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing with the firework, because it is making me think of celebration and of success. But also, you could be celebrating with teammates or coworkers, because it's making me think of like going out to eat after work, like having fun with colleagues, coworkers, or friends after work. So there could be a lot of that in the next 14 days. Or maybe this is just something that you're doing for yourself. Like after work, you make sure that you have a little bit of fun, that you play around, or that you enjoy yourself. And you make that a habit in the next 14 days. And that's how you maintain a work-life balance, perhaps. But for tasks, we have the beehive. And this makes me think of being right on task, being right on schedule. It makes me think of being orderly, being well organized. This is the expression that came to mind. In the next 14 days, you will get your shit together. Or you might feel, or you could be quite proud of yourself because you feel that you got your shit together. But the beehive often makes me think of community and teamwork, collaboration. So you could also be receiving a lot of help from others to complete different tasks, to get a lot of stuff done, get them done on time. I do see you feeling and being supported in the next 14 days. You could also be the one extending a lending hand to others. It's like working together makes completing something a lot easier, a lot more efficient. It gets completed faster. So, but if you're not working with others, then definitely I feel like you yourself will feel that you're right on task, you're right on schedule, like you have a good management of like your day-to-day activities, obligations, responsibilities, tasks, and so forth. You could definitely be checking off a lot of things from your to-do list in the next 14 days. I see you completing a lot of tasks and completing them successfully. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out, you could also be doing some yard work, cleaning outside. Could also be indoors, but for whatever reason I thought of outside. I saw someone like watering plants or watering a garden or cleaning a driveway, backyard, a porch perhaps, a stoop. Okay, I'll stop now. But now I'm going to pull out an extra oracle card to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance for the next 14 days. Beehives, bees, fireworks could be important signs, symbols, as well as sun imagery, sun symbolism. If you're feeling grouchy, grumpy, frumpy, it could be because you need sleep. Okay, that's just something that came to mind out of the blue. Prioritize sleep, restful sleep, a good amount of sleep. Okay, and we have Pluto with control, the key phrase, a marionette dances on its string. And the message, sometimes control can help you to master a subject. Often it can be a misuse of power or overly self-protective. Ask yourself whether control is helping or hurting. Then connect with the part of you that is comfortable with letting go. Interesting. And I did notice that it took a while for this card to come out. Yeah, so I feel like this is a reminder that you have free will, that it's up to you what you decide upon, what you choose to go with, go along with. You know, people don't have control over you because you are your own person and you get to decide how much influence something or someone has over you. Okay, but a lot of you could be coming out of a situation or environment or maybe even a mindset that did not allow for you to feel like you were in full control of yourself or maybe of your creations, of your work. I'm thinking of a contract. So some of you could be terminating a contract that was very limiting, very oppressive, perhaps, that had a lot of restrictions, or a contract will be ending. And this contract ending could be the start of something new for you, like an era in your life where you feel a lot more free to work on or do whatever it is that you want, or you have more time to dedicate on whatever it is that you want. But this is also making me think that we cannot control how others feel or how others respond to us or what we do, what we say, what we create, what we share. So the advice here is you can either choose to focus on that which is out of your control and feel powerless in that whole process, or you can choose to focus on that which is actually in your management and feel empowered through that. So some things that you can control is how you respond and what you make of the information that you're provided with, what you choose to prioritize, what you choose to make important, who you give access to into your life and into your mental palace. I'm now being reminded of Sherlock, like into your mind, into your thoughts, into your heart, into your energy field. And there's something here about like loosening up a bit. Remember, the sun speaks of authenticity. So yeah, sometimes we can find ourselves being overly controlling of ourselves because we are afraid of being judged or being perceived in a certain way. And so we manage our every little move, everything that we say, and that kind of restricts our freedom of expression. So I feel like in the next 14 days, you're being advised to like allow yourself to loosen up a bit, right? Again, we cannot control how others respond to us. We can think that by us doing something, it's going to please others, but that's just us assuming. It's not guaranteed because some people just get out of their way to be displeased with everything. So instead of trying to please others, focus on creating something that is authentic to you. That you feel proud of, right? Or that works for you, works for your situation. But, that's just an advice for the next 14 days. You don't have to take it. You can take it or you can leave it or just consider it. But that is what I'm seeing here so far. And control can also speak about like better managing your temper, having emotional regulation. Maybe there will be improvement on that in the next 14 days. Or maybe you're being advised to focus more on that, perhaps. there's also something here about looking into what it is that you can control, what it will actually be beneficial for you to aim to manage it, right? To look into how you can manage it. I don't know why, but I thought of like analytics and statistics. So some of you could be looking into that to get informed on what needs to be improved upon. Also looking at like feedback, if you get any constructive criticism, if you receive any evaluations as well. It's also making me think of time management, right? Instead of wanting to control time, you could simply just better manage your time or aim for that, because not everyone is Doctor Strange. Okay, but these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. I hope these messages were of help to you. If the reading resonated with you, if it was of some assistance to you, then please leave a like or a comment. Let me know how it did resonate, if it did resonate with you. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And yeah, before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. And I am wishing you a wonderful next 14 days. And until the next moment, bye bye.